Good morning, everybody. It's time for another 3D modeling live stream for the PrintAQuest board game. I've been doing a lot of work this week, but the campaign itself has been also doing a heck of a lot of great work. Let's check in with the campaign real fast. Let me just grab it over here and set it up for this, because of course, being the professional streamer person that I am totally prepared for this. So let's let's jump over to that now. Let me just make sure the stream's going good. We're looking good. Analytics are good. Stream health is good. Nobody's watching. That's fantastic. It's just me alone here, and I can do whatever the heck I want. But for anybody who watches later, let's recap how the campaign is doing. We have over 100 backers as of yesterday. That is so exciting. It is so exciting that there are over 100 of you who are willing to help me see this crazy little vision come true. Looking at the daily stats. Chat says, Native says he's here, and Ken says he's here. Well, statistics are lying then. So glad to have you guys here. Sound off in the chat if you're here, but it's good to see you guys. Native, I believe you backed at the You're the Boss level, so I need to use your name. And I sent you an email, but you never did reply to me about that one. Let me know in the chat if you have anything in particular that you want your name applied to. Yeah, you were the first backer. Wait, did you back at the... I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you were first in the chat. I don't think you were the first backer, though. But I'm wondering what am I going to do with your name and stuff. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, so far, yesterday was a good day for the campaign. But we're getting about 4 backers per day. The campaign has not yet plateaued. However, I would love to see a spike at some point. But the only way that's going to happen is if somebody who knows a big backer says, "Hey, can you plug this?" and they plug it to their audience, and it blows up that way. That is the only way this is going to go. I am. Okay, that's great, Native. Mostly, though, if you don't have any particular... Paul Garage, how you doing? Native, if you don't have any particular, specific thought about how you want your name used, I might just... You might just be like some dude who had a treasure that we're going after, or I will name a prison or a dungeon after you, or something like that. Just a little bit of flavor text in the game. I had a friend of mine who got his name into one of the Mech Warrior games back when they were on DOS. He won a contest, and it was a thrill to see that he was General Aram in that world. So I might just, I don't know if I would use Native or Maver. Both are great, though. I mean, both are fantastic names, and I could use either one of those. But if you have a name that you would rather me use, let me know. All right, let's see. So yeah, the campaign's doing great. Everything's doing great. The next major update that I am going to do, or not, the next post that I'm going to make for the campaign is to plug the rules. Let me pull those up real fast. Some of you may already know that the rules are available on Google Docs. That is how I am editing them, and so it's also enabling me to share them with you guys. And so I'm going to be sharing them with the campaign and encourage people to check out the rules. I feel like the more I open up about this, the more I share about this, the more people can get excited about it. I also want to do an update talking about the zombie models that I've made and stuff like that. But the rules did undergo a change recently. Originally, I had it so that when you killed a monster, this spawning monsters section is what changed. When you killed a monster, they went back to a spawn point. And I had modeled spawn points for the goblins and the zombies. And I was really proud of my zombie model because it was a really good looking tombstone. Good morning, Orson Jones. Good morning, Roll for Stealth. Good to see you again. So the idea was that monsters that got killed would go back to their spawn point, and that would kind of reset the map and allow you to have problems going in and problems coming back out. However, the one reason why I didn't do this before was I did not want the maps to be so random. But the more that I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what, let's just make it like a roguelike. And you never know what's going to happen when you open up a door. So that's the new rule. When you open up a door to an empty room, when you first open the door to, and I will say, an empty room. See, we're editing the rules as we're talking. It will be populated with monsters at that point. Roll the dice and refer to the spawning table for that map and place monsters on the spawn points marked on the map. If there are more spawn points than monsters, as is frequently the case, players can decide together which monsters go on which spawning points. And this is all part of that DM-less gameplay. We don't have a DM deciding where everything goes. The players set up their own challenge. And so let's take a look at one of the quests here. So we've got a little bit of story in the quest, and I think I'm going to take the story elements and move them after the map. I think it's going to be map first. But this first one doesn't really count. This first one is just learning how to move and fight and stuff like that. And I need to test this map out and make sure that, 2 players can kill all these monsters. Or maybe I need to say, if you're playing a 3-player game, then you add these monsters, and if you're playing a 4-player game, then you add these monsters and stuff like that. I need to come up with some icons for that. That's always the hard part is editing these with icons and stuff like that. Maybe I should just make these a big image and then just save a bunch of images so I can just reposition things manually. Because right now they're positioned in the manual, so I can move them around, edit them quicker. But it's becoming cumbersome, so I may do that. I may change that. But in this second one, we have the first 2 rooms that don't have any monsters in them, but we got little spawn points to indicate where the monsters will go. And when you open up the door, you roll the dice, and if it comes up to the hero side, we just put 3 zombies in there. And if it comes up to the blank side, which is, we'll call that kind of in between, then 1 zombie and 1 goblin, and if it comes up with the monster side, you get 3 goblins, which is a heck of a challenge to try to overcome. But you are encouraged. You have to hit these 2 treasures in order to escape. So you got to go to this point and go to this point and spend an action point opening it, and then you can escape. So you have to open both of those rooms. But again, this map is just kind of teaching you how to populate spawn points. This map is very similar, except notice that the spawn points are at the beginning. Well, with this third room, there's a rule that says when you open that last room here, don't populate this room, populate the ending, because in this map, you have to go all the way down in here and then push the treasure chest out, because the story for this one is that this treasure chest is locked and you're given the key. So don't forget the key, guys, and everybody forgets the key. But the chest itself isn't bolted down, so let's just shove it out of here. But you have to shove it out with monsters coming at you and trying to stop you. And what monsters are going to come at you? Well, it depends on the roll of the dice. It could be 4 zombies, or it could be 3 goblins and a zombie, which is a much bigger challenge. And part of me is still like, do I like this? Do I like this idea of a random challenge? Now, this particular map, I really enjoy this map. We've been playing this map a lot. It's the most replayable of the maps. And generally speaking, we get through this without any trouble. Even when we roll bad, it's not difficult to beat this map. We really are having a good time with it. But that said, it's random, And I'm really enjoying the replayability that this random element is adding to it. So it's working on this map. And then we got this last map here, which has like points that you have to push these onto. However, it was recently decided that the big bad evil guy of the first area is going to be the gargoyle, which I'm super excited about. I'm excited to add the gargoyle in here. I have pictures in my mind of what I want the gargoyle to look at, so I am excited to model that. And in this room, these chests are going to be replaced with 4 gargoyle statues. and you're going to push these gargoyle statues onto the platforms to open up the door, and then the door is going to open and it's going to be empty. Why the heck? Wait a second. This is supposed to be a prison. Where's the prisoner? And that's when either one or two or all four of the gargoyles spring to life and fight. And let me go back real fast to the stats here, because I have kind of sketched out the stats. Here we go, of the monsters in a table here. I'm giving the monsters 4 HP, which makes them, or the gargoyles, I'm giving the gargoyles 4 HP, which makes them a considerable challenge to defeat. It's going to take multiple rounds to beat them. But they only take 2 steps, so they don't walk far. They're slow, but they're hard to beat, and they get 3 attacks against you, which means that if you are in range at the end of their turn, yeah, they're very likely going to hit you, because there's a 1 in 3 chance on the standard dice that they're going to hit you. So they're going to potentially do damage and fight against a gargoyle, but they're not so difficult that they can't be reused as a regular bad guy in future campaigns. So we can make future maps where gargoyles are just a thing. And so, you know, these stats right here. But I'm wondering, how is that going to affect things with a multiplier, if we have 4 of them or 3 of them or 2 of them. And it might be a case of, like, if there are only 2 players, if there are only 2 hero characters, then only one of them comes to life. If there are 3 or 4, then 2 of them come to life. I got to play test this, but I need to have the models to do that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tour. I will be sharing these on the Kickstarter itself, probably tomorrow. This is going to be today's update. I am seriously having to, like, hold myself back from updating every stinking day. This is going to be today's update. And tomorrow I will post, hey, go check out the rules. But I also want to tell people about the zombies, the goblins. Those are good filler updates. But keep sharing the campaign. If you guys can think of any websites or anything like that, you know, people who are into board games and stuff like that. I had somebody suggest the Dice Tower. They do Kickstarter reviews. Yes, please tell the Dice Tower about this. The reason why I'm asking you guys, Morning Nolan Creates, good to hear from you. The reason why I'm asking you guys to do my promotion is because it means more coming from a fan than it does coming from me. That said, I will probably reach out to the Dice Tower today and say, hey, love your content, been enjoying it for years, since way back when, since way back before they were professional. I was a fan of the Dice Tower, and now look at them, they're big boys. And you know, I'd really appreciate if you guys would check out my little campaign and share it with your audience. It's not to a point where I feel like I could print a whole set and send it off. But let's introduce you guys to the elf. Now I have to warn you, this particular model crashes Blender a lot. I don't know what I did, but it is, if I try to go to material preview, there's a chance it'll crash. Okay, it didn't crash. So there we go. Okay, so we've got a elf character here, and she's looking rather good. I've given her kind of like naturalization. She is a elf. This is Ginny's character. She's a longtime backer. She gets preferential treatment all the time, and deserves it. She's a great person. And so yeah, this is Ginny's. Ginny was like, I want my name added to an elf. And I wanted an elf. And let's go back to the rules here real fast. The elf. Let me see. There we go. So we've got 3 characters here. We've got Craig the diminutive dwarf. He only has 3 HP, but he's got a range of 2, so he can hit people out of his range pretty easily. And he's got 5 action points, which is the way I decided action points is I was like, okay, if I rolled a dice and I ended up with X, on a consistent basis. This prevented me from making it roll to move. I wanted the movement to be determined, but it also means that your attack and your movement are lumped into one stat. So you have to kind of manage that as a resource. Ken, the Mysterious Knight, which, Ken, this is your namesake. I hope that you saw that. I hope that you're okay with that. Dougal says Alf. I have no idea what you mean by Alf. He gets 6 action points, but he only has a range of 1, and he gets 5 hit points. He's the tank. Well, he's a tank. He tanks a lot of hits and stuff like that. And then we have Yinig, the Elven Druid. And she is kind of like in between both of them. She has 4 movement points. She has 5 attack points, but she only has a range of 1. I think a female elf would have pockets. Heck, yes, she needs pockets. Where am I going to put her pockets? Now, I am between what I want for the 4th. No, I'm not between. I know what I want for the 4th character in this original 4 characters. I want the Clockwork Automaton to be. The Clockwork Automaton is, you know what, I'm going to bump his health point up. He is a tank. He can take a lot of hits. However, he only has 3 movement points. He is slow as all get out. And he will likely lag behind the rest of the team if the team doesn't play with him. But here's the thing. When he hits an enemy, he hits for 2. Now, I'm really kind of gritting my teeth on this. Do I want to have a character in the core set that has a special rule attached to them? Because, you know, do I want the core set to remain as vanilla as possible and save the specials for the expansions? And yes, I do. I want to save the specials for the expansions, but I really, really like the dynamic of a dwarf, a knight, an elf, and a big clockwork robot just kind of like working together. Just just imagine those 4 walking towards the camera like what's the movie where the astronauts are walking towards the camera? So The Right Stuff. Okay, imagine those 4 doing the right stuff strut. Okay, we got a tiny little dwarf right there. We got a dude in a suit of armor. I mean, pretty standard stuff, right? We got this dwarf, this you know, naturalistic magic dwarf character, and a big old honking robot. I love the tableau of that. Every one of them is so different. Every one of them is just something to go, what the heck? How did these all get together? And so I love that. So I think that those are going to be my core set, and that means that one of the core set gets a special rule attached to them. But I just got to do it. There was an old cartoon. If any of you guys can find this old cartoon, and I think it was an old YouTube short cartoon, that was a D&D group, and one of them was a big honking clockwork robot. And I have not been able to find that one since. And it ended, the reason why it's stuck in my head is because it ended with all 4 of them kind of running sideways to the horizon. And yeah, it had this big clockwork robot in the back, clonk, clonk, clonking along with them. That's all that I remember of it. And I wish that I could find it. It was just a one-off, but it looked like it could have been an anime series. And I think that was the point of it. All right, we gotta get working on this. Now, she has got an animal familiar, and so I think for today, I'm going to start working on the animal familiar. This is going to be a problem, though. I'm going to have to create a new group for the fox. Because, 1, I got to create a new group for it. 2, I'm going to have to give it its own rig. So that's annoying. can I put two rigs in here at the same time? Is that going to conflict things? I've never put two rigs in the same scene, but it's got to be possible because Blender animates characters on top of each other all the time. So, yeah. Do I want to start with that? Yeah, I do. I want to start with that. Because the rigs give me something to model around. But the other problem is I have not been able to find a good, like, side view Fox reference image that I could just trace around. So I'm going to have to freehand this, and I don't want to do that. But gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, you know? So here we go. Let's get an animal rig. Bird, cat, horse, shark. This is going to be a cat rig. Or a wolf? What's the difference between the cat rig and the wolf rig? Let's find out. Ooh, look at those toes. That is way too many toes. Look at that face. That is way too much face. We are not animating this much face. I hope. I'm going to pull up the cat rig real fast and see what its difference is. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these particular rigs. Oh, look at that. Though we definitely want wolf rig. Yeah, it's very flat-nosed. Although in the end, I'm going to delete the face and the so much of the toes. Let's just clean this rig up just a little bit. No? You're not going to let me do that? I'm going to do it anyways. You can't stop me. Oh yeah, we got a mirror in the X. Except not that one and not that one. Alright, that'll work. A little bit odded out by the fact that it doesn't, you know. It looks to me like it wants those parts to extend. Like the foot's supposed to go out from there, but I don't know. And then what do we got for the head here? Definitely don't need all this. But I'm curious if I need this one here. Nope, those are eyeballs. Don't need them. We are not animating. We are not animating this. We are just posing it. Any character will be done by the sculpt. Well, that's no good. It's got rid of the honking. Like, why isn't there a bone in the middle of the head? There isn't. There isn't. Okie dokie. Moving on. How do we feel about... Yeah, that's about the right size. That's a big fox, but we'll go with it. Alright. So that's that fox. Let's start with a plane. Oh, wait. We need to move over to the fox parts. Make sure everything's organized. Okay, so this is going to be fox body. I'm just going to try low poly modeling this whole thing. We'll see how this goes. Now, I do have some reference images up that I'm going to try to use to do a good job at this. So I'm not going to be able to see chat for a second because I'm not one of those fancy YouTubers with 15 monitors. I only have 2. And one can either have reference or chat. And I am choosing to have reference right now. So I apologize. If you guys want to chit-chat amongst yourself and say terrible things about me, now is your chance. Alrighty. I want to say, man, that Joe, he does not know how to run a stream. Start stream at 8:30 in the morning. Who is even up at that time? Who is even watching at that time? To which I say, it's a unfulfilled market. That's what you call finding your market. I feel like I'm kind of getting it. I don't know. Maybe the nose is too long. Maybe the nose is not long enough. I don't know. I liked it better before. I mean, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. It's going to have an eye here. What's wrong here? Let me pull up chat again. How do I pull up chat? There we go. Old farts and creatives. Yeah. Yeah, that's who's going to fill this out. All right. Okay, let's see. We got the ears. We need to visualize. Oops. What's wrong about this? It's not right. Maybe the face is just too far forward. Let's move the whole face back. Let's draw those ears back on again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe, you know what? Maybe what I'm going to do. I'm using this one image as reference because it's got a lot of good poses. So maybe I should take this. So here is my, I'm going to bring it over here so you guys can see. Here is my, like a lot of people when they're doing a thing, they pull up a bunch of references. Here's what I do. I just pull up Google image search and I go what the heck all over them to try and figure out. And I'm looking for Asian foxes specifically. Why Asian foxes? Well, because in the world that I've created, elves are vaguely Asiatic. Hey, Volt, how you doing? We were talking about robots earlier. So let's save this link as something. I don't know, where do we want to put it? Downloads is fine because it's not going to last long. Not the link, the image. JPEG. We'll just call it Fox reference. And let's still working right now while listening. Okay, so this is going to sound terrible, mostly because it is. But Roll for Stealth, you interacted with me before, and I don't remember how. Like, remind me how we know each other. Is it just through this campaign? Was there something that you did? There we go. That we I don't remember. Oh, come on. You allow me to resize you without anything, but then if I try to move you, you're like, nope, use the G command to move. Grief. Frickin' Blender, man, I swear. Inconsistent. All right, so let's see if I can get this head right now. Yeah, oh boy. Boy, did I mess that up. There we go. Let's do that. I think we want to move that there. Is this not big enough? I may have to make this bigger. Yeah, my reference isn't big enough still. Bigger! Even bigger the reference? Oh, dang. Okay, that's a little bit better. Here we go. And scale it up. And there we go. Pretty happy about that. Interesting. Interesting. I may have to add some additional shape to it because it looks to me like the fox's head does a little lump here, and then it dips back down before going to the crest of the head. So I may have to add an additional. Well, that didn't help at all. think I need to add 2 additional, and I don't want to do that. That's too much additional. We will fix that in the sculpt. Now for the body, I want to use this one as reference. Oh, but that's way too low. So let's take this and move it up here. And now let's get the body shape right. And I may do that by the way, what you working on, roll for stealth? What when you say working, are you talking like gainfully employed? I'm guessing that's what you mean. I will be doing my gainful employment later today. You know, right now I do this well, mostly for fun. Not entirely for fun, let's be honest. I want the Kickstarter to do well because, you know, the better it does, the more likely I can do more of this stuff. I am thinking, and I think I've said this before on Livestream here. We'll be lurking, listening while running around at work. By the way, Volt, what's your day job? I know that you do some, you know, you built that cool robot. Breaking the fourth wall here a little bit and talking about you as though you are not the character that your avatar is. I don't know if I know what your day job is. You've made some cool connections, though. All right, let's get this foxtail on here, and I may. Yes. We need to edit this. Foxtail must be at least twice as big. What did he say in Zoolander? It must be at least 2 times as big. All right. Sysadmin and IT support. Ooh, you smart person. I did that for a while. And there's a reason why I'm not doing it anymore. I turned out to be less smart than I wanted to be. No, I can do a lot of it, but our IT guys at work, though, recently broke my laser cutter, and in trying to fix it, I broke it even worse. So I may be trying to convince the makerspace to buy a new laser cutter, which is always difficult to convince the boss to spend money on stuff. He is tight with the budget, and hey, I don't blame him, but I am annoyed. Longtime follower of your campaigns and your YouTube, comment on your streams and videos and on the Discord. Maybe that was it. You were just on the last. Stream, but I don't think I've ever seen your name roll for stealth before. It's a great name. Do I want it to come to a point, or do I just want to make it very small? I think for the sake of my sanity and geometry, I'm going to make it very small. I don't know. Because the thing is, this geometry is going to be subdivision surfaced. And when it's subdivision surfaced, a point kind of turns ugly. But a thing like this also turns a different kind of ugly. It's always hard to figure out what to do. But I think we got the basic fox shape. Let's remove the reference. Actually, let's take this reference. Oh, sure, you can do that to me, jerk. All right, let's put this reference back up here. Like, I think that's going to be fine, right? Does that look fox-like to you guys? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Oh, yeah, we got to get the triangle face on there. Yes. Most of that could be done in sculpt, though. Yeah, work at my day job. Gainfully employed. Good man. Building the economy. All right. Let's throw a mirror modifier on here so I don't have to work so hard. And let's extrude out to... wait, let's turn on some clip. No, let's turn off some clipping. All right, now comes the point where we start to build the shape of everything. And this is the fun part. Because I need to work in 3D in my head while I am working in 2D in my eyes. All right. Sorry guys, I'm going to get a little bit quiet while I'm doing this. Not that I don't have things to say, it's just, you know, concentration. Maybe if I do that with the tail. Don't put these so close to each other. How's this look from the top? Oh yeah, we need to like that. And then this needs to like that. The sound effects are vitally important to the process. You don't even know, man. All right. That's starting to look like a tail. I think I can work with this. I think that we maxed out the width of the tail there, but gotta shrink down the start of the tail like that, and like that, and like that. That looks pretty good. Not perfect. Not perfect by any means, but that looks pretty good. Alrighty. Now, I've got to figure out how to make the face of the fox look like a fox. And some of this will be fixed into Sculpt. Oh. I love it when you do a thing. Talking a bit back and forth on... That's it! You've showed up on my Discord! Guys, show up on my Discord. Discord at 3dpprofessor.com/ No. Discord.3dpprofessor.com. That's how I've set it up. And, you know, you guys... okay. I'm in this weird place where I really should be, like, promoting my Kickstarter, or promoting my what's it called? The thing where people can send you money. Patreon. And, you know, convincing people that they need to support me on Patreon and stuff like that. And I need to update my... The problem is the Patreon doesn't make a whole lot of money. I mean, I appreciate everybody who supports me on Patreon. But as a money-making source, it hasn't really panned out very well. And so it's difficult to, like, justify spending a whole lot of time and stuff on that. Discord is good, but it can also be a ghost town. Well, it depends on the... Yeah, well, my Discord is sporadically active. You know, we have people on there who show up quite a lot. And then we have people who don't show up very often. And so it's... But I kind of like the pace of it because it means that I can ignore it all day long and then go back to it and be like, oh, hey, there are some things that I want to update and talk about and stuff like that, and then do. Oh, how do we want to do this? Shall we do a cut down the middle? Because that'll give me the ears where I want them. And then that'll allow me to shape the back just a little bit better. Actually, I kind of like that where it was. You only have so much time and energy, especially as I'm getting older. Oh boy, my kids are taking all of both. Alrighty. Ooh. Oh, I kind of love that. That's wrong, but I kind of love it. Alright, let's... Oh, that worked out so good. That worked out better than I expected. There we go. Oh my goodness. Joe, you genius. Look at that fox. My goodness, that's a low poly fox, folks. Nailed it in one. Yes. Let's pull up our reference material. We're going to take you, rotate you 90 degrees like that, so that we can compare you side by side. The nose isn't going down quite as much as this one. Oh, and the cheeks are going up too high. So let's see if we can't... Yeesh. I feel like we need more geometry down here. Maybe I should just cut this here. Just do a little tuk-onk like that. Once again, sound effects, vitally important, guys. Do not underestimate the necessity, the absolute necessity of the mouth noises. Like, this isn't even negotiable, guys. You don't even know. Okay, so obviously that that face is tilted down, but I think we got the general shape here. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, let's grab this reference material. Rotated it 90. Rotated it 90 again because we need to. Shoosh. We need to add some leggies. Oh, I love this little jump here. Yeah, I am wholesale ripping off this one piece of reference, and it's just the way it's going to have to be. All right. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can't pull these legs out. Okay. Whoa. Oh, do I have some faces down the middle? Yes, absolutely I do. Guess what, faces down the middle? Just making sure I didn't accidentally choose too many down the side or anything like that. You have to go away. Bye-bye. There we go. Clean geometry. All right, let's grab... I think I need to grab this face and this face. Well, I need to know something about foxes. Do they have chest between their legs? Or do their front legs come together? I think I see chest behind. Okay, we need to pull up some more real reference material and see what we can find. Let's see. See, that looks like they're kind of coming together in a point there. All right, here's a good one. There's a little bit of chest there. Studying reference material. Thrilling stream content, guys. You know, it's funny whenever you say Asian fox, you end up with these foxy ladies. But that's because there is a legend in Japanese mythology about the kitsune. And they are foxes that can transform into women. Which actually is pretty cool. All right, so that said, maybe, I don't know. Hey, why are you being so weird? Okay. Okay. Theoretically, then, I don't know if I want the legs to just be one block, but we're going to go with it for now. Oops. You guys thought that I was joking about the mouth noises being necessary. They are vitally important. I'm just going to use the loop tool real fast and the circle, and hopefully it won't mess that up too bad. Isn't that a line from Gangnam Style? I don't... Hey! What did you miss? So, let's see. What did you miss? The Kickstarter is doing great. We have more than 100 people who have currently backed. Please share the Kickstarter with everybody that you can. I will probably be sharing it with the Dice Tower today to see if I can get a little boost from them. Not holding my breath, though. And let's see, what else? What else? You guys have to fill them in. I'm busy foxing around right now. Oof, did not mean for that to sound that way. I mean, I did, but not that way. All right, I need to add some burp burp there so that we can burp burp like that. And then burp. Yeah. What about offering new model per month, whether that's low poly Chibama or something you've been playing around with? I do see the something to print gets 3 model kit. Yeah, that was the plan. The plan was for the something to print to be a new model every month. The problem was I wasn't making a new model every month. I was making a video all the time. I was focusing on video production, which seems to be what people want from me. And I mean, I appreciate that. I do. But yeah, if I had a choice, I would love to be modeling every month, which is why after the Kickstarter, I think I'm going to make a monthly modeling live stream, and whatever I make during it will be based on what you all say and what you all want me to make, and whether it's a chibi mall or a low poly dino or some people on my other channel, I did some McDonald's toys, and occasionally people pop in and they're like, hey, can I do some more of those? I'm like, well, I wouldn't mind it, but, you know, they're not very popular. Well, maybe we'll use, I don't hate that at all. That turned out not bad. Once this campaign finishes, you could offer Patreon exclusive models. Yeah, and that would be the thing. My live stream would be some Patreon exclusive models. Once again, let's steal the loop tools trick. And did I line that up right? Yes, I did. Look at me. Oh, the cleverness of me. That was a Peter Pan reference. Not the Disney version, but the original version by J.M. Barrie, the play. I kind of like, I mean, I love the Disney version, don't get me wrong, but in his original iteration, the movie, I don't remember when that movie came out, but there was a Peter Pan movie that came out a while ago, and it leaned heavy into being accurate to the play, and it nailed it to the point where, like, because like mermaids in the original were not, I mean, in the Disney version, they were still like, oh, we were only trying to drown her. In the original book, mermaids were evil, and they leaned into that in the, ooh, what did I do there? In the movie, and made them downright scary. It was cool. So yeah, I definitely think after the Kickstarter, I'm going to give a shot to a monthly modeling live stream with, you know, the models will be more or less exclusive on Kickstarter or on Patreon. And we'll see. But I also want to continue to update regardless of how well or badly this campaign does, I want to continue to update PrintAQuest because I feel like it's got legs. I feel like it's got, well, first of all, I can really easily see like a world of expansions for it. Like it does not take much imagination for me to see the idea of this world going all over the place. And it doesn't help that I've already kind of written the story for it. So, mind you, the story is changing a lot from the way that from how I wrote it when I was in college. But yeah, I could absolutely keep going on this story. I would love to, like, okay, so some of the changes that I want to mention from its original iteration was originally there was a mermaid character, and this mermaid character existed in the world of the story to be a tragedy when another one of the characters who has kind of gotten hooked on this embiggening serum that he gets to enable him to fight, but it's kind of a little Dr. Jekyll, a little bit of the Incredible Hulk. He takes this and he turns into a big old hulking mass, and eventually we get a brute in the campaign, and he starts to feel like he's losing his value in it. What happened here? He begins to feel like he's losing his value in the group, and that causes him to, use the stuff too much, and he ends up accidentally killing the mermaid character. Now, those characters no longer exist in the current iteration. So, does that matter anymore? And I would say not. I would say I'm entirely willing to let that go. It wasn't a great story beat anyways. It was kind of depressing. Alrighty. Oh. Well, this does not suck. Does this look like a fox? Oh my goodness, yes, it does to me. Does this look like a fox to you guys? I think the face is a little bit too wide. I think I need to narrow the face just a little bit. But besides that, let's narrow that face just a little bit. Wait, let's turn on clipping. There we go. There we go. I think I'm going to embiggen the face, the whole face, just a little bit. Oh, that looks really good. Sorry to pat myself on my own back, but dang. Not bad, Joe. I think I need to get rid of some of the loop cuts on the legs, though. I think I put too many of those in there. I did that for animation purposes or posing purposes, but I'm going to sculpt this. Maybe I'll leave 2. Yeah. I'll leave 2. Whoa! Why'd you do that? All right. Boom. All right. Let's see. Volt just backed the Kickstarter. Have to go to a support meeting. Talk to you later. Thanks, Volt, for stopping by. It's amazing watching you do this modeling stuff. You make it look so effortless. Lots of practice, Ken. But on the plus side, that's all it's going to take for you to get that good. It's just lots of practice. An ocean-based expansion with sirens that sing explorers to their death sounds awesome and scary. Oh, buddy. Did I not show this to you? This is not going to be in this campaign because it will require. I need the base set to be done before I do any wild expansions, but the way the rules for this game have been written, it can very easily be expanded and extended to other types of gameplay. And one of the types of gameplay that I want to do in a future expansion is this. Okay? I want to build a ship. I want to build a boat. And the gameplay aspect of this, okay, is that down here we got a little map. And this map is separate from the big map that your minis are running around on. Ooh, boy, that's making my green screen pop. So, you've got your minis running around on the deck of the ship. One of them can come up here to steer the ship. I may have to move the steering of the ship down somewhere else where it can be more easily accessed. But then you've got other characters running cannonballs to and from the cannons and firing the cannons and maybe grabbing gunpowder and stuff like that and making sure that they go there and loading the cannons. So you're lining up your ship with the steering and then using the cannons to fire on enemies and hopefully destroying them before the enemies get too close to you. Because if the enemies get too close to you, then they jump onto deck and you've got to fight them on deck. Sound cool? Sounds pretty awesome to me. But I do like the idea of adding sirens. I also want to add tentacle, krakens. I want to add all kinds of cool stuff to that. So I think that that's got some possibility. And I love the idea that this game system is so extensible in that. But that is an entirely new thing, and I feel like it's going to be an entire campaign that I want to build up and run. But the replayability of it is going to be so much fun. Sounds interesting. I think so. Like I say, I'm looking forward to, in tomorrow's Kickstarter update, having people look over the rules. I hope that the rules for the game will inspire more people to share this and want to play this game. The rules as written, the rules as written are not very deep. They don't require you to sit there with a monster manual and go, okay, well, hold on, how many points do I get for casting 3 fireballs? And no, don't worry about any of that. It's a very simple set of rules, but that simplicity lends itself to extensibility, and that it's not about the individual encounters. It's about the whole thing. Kraken, absolutely need Kraken. Chances of getting a second campaign this year. That is a very interesting question. My wife would love if yes. I absolutely think that a second campaign. Sorry, I went back to modeling and I didn't flip my screen back. I think that a second campaign would be good from a lot of standpoints. It's just, I was supposed to launch this campaign 2 months ago, and I just wasn't ready then. So, mind you, if my second campaign is, doing more of this, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the monthly live streams lead. Let's one thing at a time. We'll do the monthly live streams, and we'll see how those go. All right, so now that I've got this, I need to apply the mirror modifier because, unfortunately, what I want to use, the multi-resolution modifier, I've never done this before, so I'm going to save real fast. Because the multi-resolution modifier, oh, we don't need you anymore. Bye-bye. Actually, maybe I should have brought that back. The multi-resolution modifier enables you to go into sculpt mode and sculpt it a little bit and then make it, you're working on it layers and layers at a time. trying to refine the shape and stuff like that. And the thing is... Oh. All right. X. There we go. The thing about the multi-resolution modifiers, I don't know how it likes the idea, because I need to pull out some of these hairs for the tail here, right? I need to subdivide 2 or 3 times before I can even think about that. Look at that. Look at what it did to this, though. This looks terrible. Yuck. Let's see if we can't build that up just a little bit. And build this up just a little bit. Are we, is our brush set to doing the front faces only? No, front faces only, please. Thank you. Front faces only makes it so that the brushes tend to go through things and hitting both sides, which means that if you have something thin, it will pull the back towards the front, which is sometimes what you want, but in my experience, very rarely what you actually want. Most of the time, you just want it to work on where you're working it on. You want to build it up as though it is a surface. I'm getting that fox's tail wagging in my face. And for some reason, I don't hate it. Shall we start modeling toes on here? I think we shall. What do fox feet grief? Now I need to look up some reference for fox feet. Expansion for this, maybe. So yeah, that's the question. Will an expansion for this be enough to really... Oh, they have 4 toes. Oh. Learning about foxes today. They have 4 toes and they kind of come together in like a point. Like, boop, boop. So let's make that happen. All right. Should we just do this with the draw tool? Let's do this with the draw tool for now. Yeah. I don't like that. What I don't like, sorry, I'm saying I don't like stuff, but I'm not explaining to you, is that I need to kind of cut in here, and cut in here, and it just, I'm trying to do it along nice, neat geometry so that as it subdivides up, but I don't like the way this geometry is going. Kind of have to pull these in just a little bit to make the geometry a little cleaner. But yeah, this isn't super great. It'll get better as I add more to it, though. So much work for just a little gag on the side of this, but yeah, it's worth it. It's all about the little details, things that make people go, ooh, check that out. All right. Well, that's what that is. Let's go grab the other one. Let's do it too. All right, let's see if we can this too. All right. 6-inch everlag. Sounds like a book. Never read that one. I have to ask my librarian friends if they know about that one. 6-inch everlag. It's like the Evertaster. My family just started reading. No, they didn't start reading the Evertaster. They wanted to read some scary books this time. We read books as a family. Well, I say we read books. They read books as a family, and then I come in here and work on stuff at night while they do that. It's not that I don't want to read books with them. I enjoy reading books. All right, we're gonna hope that this gets better as we go up. But meanwhile, let's make sure that this is shaped properly. Now, my question is, let me pull out my elastic snake hook. What's this do? Ugh. I don't know. There's the snake hook, which I like better, but you know, we don't have a whole lot of geometry to work with here. I can only do like, let's go back to the elastic snake hook. I mean, kind of. Let's pull the clay tool out. The problem is, okay, so I can't. The nice thing about the multi-resolution modifier is that it keeps the geometry clean. The bad thing about the multi-resolution modifier is that it keeps the geometry clean. I can't, oh, you know what? I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing this non-symmetrically. So we're not going to do that right now, because right now we are working very symmetrically. The problem with working with clean geometry is it doesn't enable me to, anything that I did not put in the original more or less can't be represented in this version. And I didn't add a bunch of hairy stuff on the tail, and so I'm going to have a hard time putting hairy stuff on the tail. Like, that's just it's just the way it's going to be. Let's see if we can't push that. Whoa! What did this tool do? Look at that! Whoa! My goodness, I don't love that. I don't love that. Let's just do a pure grab. I was trying to use the snake tool to see what it did for me, but boy, it did not enjoy that. All right, it does do this nicely though. Boink. But do I want that? Oof. Yes, I do, but no, I don't. No, I definitely don't want that. Okay, let's go back to the grab tool. I think I'm trying to put the eyes here, but I think that they need to come forward. I think Fox's eyes are more forward. And yeah, I don't know much about fox heads. In the end, there's probably going to be some parts of this fox that true fox aficionados will go, yeah, you missed that part. I accept this. I accept that this will be the case. Yeah, foxes don't have like cheeks. They're just very flat. Can I pull out just a little bit of this? Maybe not. Let's grab that snake hook tool. Man, every time I pull out the snake hook tool, I regret it. Let's see. GG Jason, hey man, how you doing? Hey, Jason, did you get a chance? You know what, guys? Hold on for one second. You want to check out the rules right now? Let me just, for you guys here in the chat, I don't mind. Let's just grab this link. Let's see if it'll let me put it in chat. Check out the rules, man. You can do that right now. All right. I need to put more detail on that nose. I need to put more detail on that, just all of it. But so Jason, tell me how the gaming convention went too. Was it a good time? Did you see any cool games? Is there anybody who's any standouts this year that you're thinking, ooh, keep an eye on those guys? Let me know. I'm curious to know. For those who don't know, Jason there, his handle GG4G stands for Good Guys for God. So 100% my dude, you know. He and I are buddies in a lot of ways. Oh, the convention is this weekend, not next weekend. That's right. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, well, you'll have to report back afterwards. Okay. Time to up the resolution. Time to up the resolution again. Geeky guys for God. I mean, good guys, geeky guys, same thing. All right, let's use the inflate tool and let's get a faux eye in here. Then let's use the clay strips to kind of, whoops, actually what I want to do is I want to make this eye a little more defined. This is going to be too small. This is not going to show up in any print. Like the size of this is beyond the resolution of any printer. And I should not be worrying about it. I'm worrying about it, but I shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. I hope you're excited for that. I'm excited for it. Remind me which convention it is so people can look it up. Jason. I want to move these eyes. Oops, not that direction. Kind of that way and that way. And let's grab the pinch tool. Where's my pinch tool? Is that the pinch tool? That's the pinch tool. I want this to be Asian foxes. And oddly enough, Asian foxes have like Asian-y looking eyes. I don't understand it. Like it's stereotypical, but it's true. Oh, I need to look up fox snout. Oh, that's not how his nose looks. All right, his nose looks... Nope, bigger. I was too zoomed in. It's a problem. You get too zoomed in and you start working on stuff. Okay, that's better. You know, does anybody else, when they think of foxes, immediately think of like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? And the fox that they had on that movie. Like, I don't remember the fox in the book, but the one in the movie made an impact on me. I enjoyed him. He was cool. You know, he was a good guy, but he was still sneaky like a fox. I don't know. I enjoyed the fox on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I thought they did a fantastic job with that guy. Ended up getting a raw deal just by nature of... But he was on the right side. I don't like that mouth. I don't like that mouth at all. No, sir. Alrighty. Let's go back to chat real fast. I wonder if I can run a game using just my regular D&D gear. My printer isn't fast enough to get that many prints out in time. I have found that it takes about 70 hours of printing to print a full set, and I haven't even finished the full set. And that's the problem. The reason why I can't like distribute this to gamers and testers is because I don't have the full set. I am asking you guys to back based on faith. Really. And say, listen, the game is going to be good. I promise it's going to be good, but I don't even have it finished yet. I only remember the fox in Robin Hood Men in Tights where they send a fox fax and he runs off with dolphin noises. I'm going to have to watch it again because I don't remember the dolphin noises, but I do remember the fox fax. That whole movie was just hilarious. Occasionally, inappropriately funny, but it's funny. Comedians do that every once in a while. That's life. That is not a fox nose. I don't know what nose that is, but that's terrible. That's better. That's better. Let's build this up just a little bit. Smooth it out. I am worrying way too much about the nose, though. I need to stop worrying about the nose and get focused on, I need to get focused on the general shape of it. I need to stop worrying about the nose. Let's, ooh, that's good. That was good. That was less good. There we go. I'm backing on faith. I have a new printer, and I need an excuse to play with it. And I appreciate you, Paul. But this is why I'm like, I need to share the rules. I need people to understand how the game plays. I don't want people to back on faith. I mean, I want people to back on faith, but I don't want people to back on faith. I want people to have a good reason to believe that this is going to be a good game, because I believe it's a good game. Thus far in my play testing, it's been really good. We've enjoyed our play testing sessions. And I have a story I want to tell with this, but if you don't care about the story and you just want to use it for your own stuff, I'm okay with that too. I want to make this, the funny thing is I actually saw today a new dungeon tile set that somebody made, and it is effectively smaller than the PrintAQuest dungeon tile sets. Now, it is also, to my eyes, considerably more fragile and breakable. But as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh man, dude is totally stealing my thunder. All right, I think it is time to add fur. And how do we add fur? Well, there are two tools that we add fur with. You know what? No, I need to add more of a bottom jowl on him. Nope, too big. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. That's better. How are we liking that fox, guys? I'm liking that fox so far. Let's take a look at the reference material. Okay, now let's see. Do we want to make the tail wider? Yes, we do. I want this tail to be much wider. Widening the tail. Better. Much better. I think I need to... Does it come to a tip? Do foxtails come to a tip, or do they... No, they kind of bushy out and then come to a tip, whereas this one tips too soon. So let's burp like that. Burp like that. I'm telling you guys, mouth noise is vitally important to the process. I don't hate this. This is looking pretty good. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's start adding. So what we do is we pull up the crease tool. We switch it to positive, and then we pull out and we set it so that the pressure sensitivity goes to this. So I am going to be leaning in, guys, to work on this because I need to use my Wacom tablet. And unfortunately, if I grab my Wacom tablet, my camera is currently attached to it. I need to create a better stand for this so that I can do this more often. Like that. Nope. I mean, I want to... Okay, let's see if we can grab that snake tool and add some hair-like shapes here and add some hair-like shapes. This is not working. No, it's not working. Oh boy, here we go. Just finished a 1.5 scale sample set. I'll post pics in Discord. Oh, by the way, Jason, I don't know if you saw. That's Kickstarter for you. Yeah, it is backing on faith. It's true. I don't know if you saw. I sent it to the group chat or something like that. I don't remember. But there are printer block organizers. Let me switch the camera over real fast. So these are printer blocks. The one thing that printer block has are these organizers, and they're just simple boxes. That's all they really are, that you can snap together to make specific organizers. What I like about these, first of all, they come in a variety of sizes, but what I like about these is that, we all have these like little sets of tools next to our 3D printer, and we will build one of these to fit the tools that we have at the time, and then we'll lose a tool, or we will stop using a tool, or we'll want to add a tool, and we'll have to try and shove it into. You don't have to worry about that with this. Just pop it off, print a different one, slap it on, reconfigure it however you want. It's super usable, and I'm using these all the heck over the place. The reason why I bring it up is because those cards, which actually should be pick upable today. So Jason, go pick up those cards today. But those pass-along cards that I made, you can print one of these that is the right side for putting business cards in, and then slap it on the side of the thing. And it's a nice little desk display, and people can pull the cards right out of it. Or if that's not going to work for you, then don't do that. But I wanted you to know that that's available. Those are let me really quickly show you where to find them. Let's educate. Okay, so go to. I really like printables. That's like my default place for uploading stuff, and it's I don't even know. Okay, I got 1,000 points. I don't even care. That doesn't even matter. It just works well for sharing stuff with people. But if you go to printables and search print a block, you will find the various printer blocks. And this isn't even mine. This is mine. But there are people have been doing a lot of things with printer blocks. What we are looking for is store-a-block printer blocks. And so that's one of them. We got drawers. But you could just search directly for that then. Store-a-block. And there's that, and there's that. And then this is print-a-block, store-a-block, modular organizers. This is the default set. Then you go down to the files, and you look for the one. All of them have the size of a thing, of their internal dimensions. So this one has an internal dimension of 7 millimeters wide by 23 millimeters long by 28 millimeters tall. This one is 7 by 23 by 60. This one is 7 by 23 by 92. Okay? For business cards, you probably want, and I'd have to remember exactly which one, but I think I recommended this one. I think it's this one. I think it's the H connector here. So 976H, which is 23 by 55. So it's 23 narrow, but 55 wide, which I think is big enough for a business card. Hold on for a second. Let me check this. 2.5 inches times 25.4 is 63. Is that right? Excuse me. How did you do that? Why did you do that? What in blue blazes did I do there? That was cool. That was not cool. Tracking on the cards. Okay, fantastic. Send me a picture when the cards come in. I want to see them. So 55 is not big enough, so let's go down to the next one. 87 seems too big. Is there not an in-between? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I didn't do one that was in between. 39, 55. Aren't business cards 2.5 inches by 3 inches? Hold on for a second. Now I got to pull that up. Business card dimensions. No, they're 2 inches. Okay. That's okay. that will work. So that's 25.4 times 2. That's 50 inches. So yes, the 55 will hold the business card. So yes, the H is the one that you want because that's 55. So that'll hold business cards just fine. There you go. That's the printer block that you want. Printer store block. I don't know what I was doing with this, but let's... No. Oh, okay, good. Oh, for Pete's sake. Windows does not like this program, and so it makes my life difficult is what it does. All right, let's see if I can make some fox hair. I really want to do the tail non-symmetrical, so at this point I think I have to break symmetry. All right, here we go. I'm going to start at the tip. No, we want this one at full strength. We just want this smaller. All right. You'll print that storage. Good. I'm glad. Thank you. That's why I put out the storage blocks, and I thought that they would be a huge hit. I thought people were going to be like, these are amazing, because I'm using them a ton, and they are amazing. But they really haven't caught on. I cannot make stuff that people want. I don't understand why. But yeah, for some reason. I'm just not a good designer. I might not be. But I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to keep on making stuff. I hope that PrintAQuest, I feel like I can spend a lot of time on in a very short amount of time, and it will pay off, I think. But you know, then there's the moment to moment, like yesterday. Okay, guys, I had a bad day yesterday. I don't know if you guys ever had a bad day. I'm sure you all have. Yesterday was a bad day for me, and I was going to work, and somebody was having a worse day than me, because we got passed by 2 ambulances and a couple of police cars and a fire truck, and then traffic started getting backed up, and I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to be late to work and stuff like that, but it's a Monday. Who cares? Well, thank you very much, Jason. I think I'm an okay designer. But yeah, the storage blocks, I guess the reason why I don't think the storage blocks have done very well is because I'm comparing them to, what are they called? I can't even remember. Void Star Labs blocks that he made. I mean, like, these are better than those. Gridfinity's on a 42 millimeter scale. Like, what the heck is that about? Come on, man. That is so non-standard. It's ridiculous. These are on a 16 millimeter scale. That's a power of 2, man. I don't like that one at all. So yeah, Gridfinities are doing great, and printer blocks are not doing very good. People aren't remixing them. People aren't using them, as far as I can tell. And so, I'm comparing myself to others, and that's the problem. I need to stop doing that. Printer. I at one point wanted to call them Blockfinity, just kind of like. Well, partially, I was hoping to get the guy who makes Gridfinity, who I've contacted in the past, but he's like me. He's super busy. It's hard to get an audience with him. I was hoping to get his attention and get him to. Should I subdivide this one more time? I don't want to. I'm going to leave it at the 4 for a side character, for the fox on the side. 4 is fine. 4 is fine. Anyways, I was comparing myself to him, and that doesn't ever lead to happiness, you know? So yesterday I was driving to work, and like I said, somebody was having a worse day than me. There was an accident on the road, and it backed up traffic. And so I was like, you know what? And my car was grinding the brakes, and it was getting to a point where I was like, I need to do something about this. So I turned around, went back, told my boss, hey, I'm going to come in late today. My car's having trouble. And my plan, and I know that my wife would have preferred this, but my plan was to go to the local O'Reilly Auto Parts and get the brake pads, because I know that they have them, and do it myself. But the problem is our jack is broken, and so I'd have to get a new jack too. But yeah, okay, fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna suck it up and I'm gonna do it. Well, I get to O'Reilly, and their road is closed off due to construction. And I'm like, freaking, just give me a break, you know? And so screw it. I'm going to just let Jiffy Lube deal with this. So I went to Jiffy Lube, probably paid way more than I needed to for this, and I thought, oh man, my wife is not going to be happy about that. But screw it. Finally got my brakes to stop grinding. So, you know, mission accomplished. But it put me in just a bad mood all day long. Also, it cost way too much. And my day job, I love my day job. But it really, the one downside to my day job is that it just does not pay enough. I work for the libraries, and I love working for the libraries. I love the freedom that it enables me. I love the stability that it enables me. It is a great job on every front except for the paycheck, which is why I do these Kickstarters, which is why I do these. Well, no, that's not why. I did this because I wanted to, but it has become one of the reasons why I keep doing them. And so I'm going, man, I need this Kickstarter to do well in order for me to be able to, like, afford the $500 that I just paid to get my brakes fixed. And it stressed me out, man. I was stressed all day long. I was stressed, and I was worried, and I was in a bad mood. And on top of it, I was going to have to tell my wife, you know, I just spent a whole bunch of money that we really don't have to do something that you didn't want me to do in the first place. So I get home after a day of work thinking, oh man, reckoning's coming. Gonna have to talk to the wife. And she caught the idea that there was something wrong pretty early. She was figuring out from things that I was saying that, but you know, it was time to feed the kids. We weren't dealing with that right then, but it gave her enough time to, like, be worried about what I was going to talk to her about. So when I finally did tell her the whole story and everything, she was like, okay, so you still got your job, and you weren't the one in the accident, and it's all okay? I'm like, well, thank you for putting that all in perspective. Yeah, no, that's fine. She's like, okay, well, good. I wish you hadn't spent the money, but at the same time, I'm glad you still got your job. So she put it into perspective for me. She made me feel better. Not better about spending the money, but, you know, could have been worse. And we have a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot in our lives that just, you know, I shouldn't have been as stressed as I was about this all day. Now, that said, this Kickstarter doing well would go a long way to make me feel a lot better. I would love if I were doing this full time. I would love to have a little studio where, you know, on a daily basis, I get to come in and make cool stuff with you guys. That would be the dream. But I am so not there. And who knows? Maybe PrintAQuest will be the key to that. Maybe it'll find an audience, or maybe I will just have a good time telling this story, creating this game. Hopefully some of you will enjoy reading and playing the game and playing the story and getting that, you know. Oof, I have a feeling that's too much. Yeah, that's pretty much pushing it. Down with you. But whatever happens, I think I'm going to keep doing it. I think I'm going to keep playing with the story because I like it and I'm enjoying it and it's fun. And Jason, I appreciate your prayers because heavens knows God was hearing a lot of me yesterday. I should call him up and apologize for yesterday. Sorry you had to hear so much of me yesterday. It was a bad day. Of course, he's timeless, so did he even notice that it was all on the same day? Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he noticed, but sometimes I wonder about silly things like that. Silly things that don't matter at all to my salvation. Still, I wonder. I am enjoying making S-curves. I want this. Okay, I want it to go the other way. So I want it to go. Nope, I went down again. Did I go down again? Up or down? Okay, I want it to go down. So that's what I want. There we go. Fun. No, I want it to go the other way. So no, that's the wrong way. There we go. Wait. Okay, there we go. How do we feel about that? Let's can we do that? Oh, that was fun. This is it's so low res. I feel bad about how low. Oh man, look at this. I've completely flipped over. I feel bad about how low res it is, but at the same time, like, I don't want to go higher res. You know, I should just go higher res and just suck it up. Look how much better that looks. Just one click of a button and it looks fantastic. Now I got to go over everything again. All right, let's deepen that. Whoops. That's fun. Nope, I did the wrong one. Actually, let's just flip that button so I don't have to hold down the control key. And let's just like that, like that. See, since I increased the resolution, everything's a little bit too soft. I gotta re-harden these corners. So I'm having to go back over everything that I did and make these corners a little pointier. That's what I get for trying to cut corners, you know. I've been listening along this whole time, and I think you and I are a lot alike. I didn't have a bad day yesterday, but otherwise the same. I'm glad you didn't have a bad day. I do not wish that on anybody. Yeah, the thing is, this bad day that I had yesterday was largely just me being in a bad mood, you know? It's not like a lot of time our bad days are all about perspective. It's not about like I say, I came home and my wife was like, okay, well, you still got your job, right? And you didn't crash the car, and you know you still got the car. Yeah, you spent $500 on the car, but you still got it, right? I'm like, yeah, it's driving better than ever. You know, it's a question of perspective, and if I can get a little spiritual here, because this is what I do. This is the thought process that I have, and you guys are in my stream, so we're gonna get a little bit of it. Oh, I like this little thing that I'm doing with the tips here. This is so much fun. But I had a buddy of mine. He and I have these discussions all the time. He's Catholic and devoted to such, and he's like, yes, you know, Satan's trying to steal your joy. He's trying to give you reasons to feel like you're not good enough and you're feeling bad and stuff like that. He's trying to steal your joy. And I was like, crap, man, he's right. That's 100% what was happening. It's not that, you know, like I say, somebody else is having a worse day than me. I'm not the one who got into a car accident. And yet here I am grumping around like I have any right to it. Like, come on, dude. I mean, look at me right now. I am doing this modeling on a Wacom tablet. I'm drawing on my screen, and it's doing it. Why do I have a Wacom tablet? Did I spend money on a Wacom tablet? No, I can't afford a Wacom tablet. I got this. I won a contest, 3D design modeling contest. I entered one of my old designs, and they were like, "That's amazing! Have a Wacom tablet, first prize." Thank you. Like most of the 3D printers that I have, I didn't buy them either. You know, I made a YouTube channel, and after 10 years of doing YouTube, I made a YouTube channel just because I was like, I want to share my love of this thing that I'm doing with people. And after a while, manufacturers were like, well, here, check out our 3D printers. I will do so. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I remapped one of these buttons so that I could do this on the screen. Oh, look at that. Workflow, y'all. I need to figure out a way to add a zoom, though. Still zooming in too much. But, you know, honestly, guys, honestly, whether this Kickstarter does well or not, I'm doing pretty darn well. And I hope you guys are too. But what I'm trying to illustrate is it's not about the circumstances or situation of your life. It's about your attitude in it. And I was having a bad attitude, and so I had a bad day yesterday. But, you know, if I could have had a good attitude. Now, if I had had a good attitude, I might not have gotten my brakes fixed yesterday, and they were in desperate need. Like, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And so maybe it's a good thing that I had a bad attitude yesterday, because it spurred me on to doing something that I was trying to avoid doing. Sometimes maybe a bad attitude can be a good thing. I don't know. But today is a good day. And I hope it's a good day for you guys, and I hope you guys make it a good day, because it'll be all right. That said, if you guys can think of anybody to share this Kickstarter with, please do. The more people that we get on this, the cooler. I appreciate you, Jason, going out and being willing to share it at a convention. I absolutely would love. I think that if I had a couple of sets of PrintAQuest sitting on a table at a fair, I could sell the heck out of these things, man. If I could find a board game convention, I think these things would be just huge at a place like that. And again, we are a lot alike. I don't have any Catholic friends, nothing against them. I'm Protestant, but otherwise the same. I mean, yeah, just we don't have to be a part of the same church. The reason why I mentioned that my friend is Catholic is because I'm not. He and I have differing theological views, and yet it's nice how much we overlap, and it enables us to have these conversations where we can you know, he was actually calling me because he's having troubles with his dog. His dog freaking ate gravel. And, you know, the doctor's telling him, hey, it's going to cost you ridiculous amounts of money to dig the gravel out of the dog. I say, dog ate the gravel. Dog can pass the gravel. If you can't pass the gravel, it's been nice knowing you, buddy. But, and he's in a similar situation. You know, he has put aside money for paying off his house, and now he's going to, you know, have to lose a whole bunch to save this dog. Again, I say, let the darn dog pass the gravel, you know. I don't think it'll kill him. He might have a bit of a rocky time of it, but I think it'll be fine. Haha. Whoa, what am I looking at? That's dog leg. That's fox leg. I'm spending way too much time on this hair. Oops, I want to do a little like that. No, not like that. There we go. This is fun. I kind of enjoy working on, oops, no, don't want to do that. I kind of enjoy working on hair. This is just enjoyable. It's just a bunch of little S curves, you know. Nope, want that S curve to go like that. There we go. Oh, this is fun. This for some reason is bringing me joy. I love it. All right. I agree. We had Catholic friends in college. They were cool, but life happened now and just too busy to hang out with anybody. You know, this friend of mine, actually, he was a teacher friend. I used to be a teacher. Then I got over that. And but he was the social studies teacher in history. So I call him whenever I have history questions and stuff like that. And yeah, so obviously I haven't been teaching in years. He hasn't been teaching in years. Definitely not at that grade level anyways. But every once in a while, you know, we just got to pick up the phone and talk to each other because it's been a while. He's just one of those friends that, like, every once in a while, you know, you gotta catch up with. He's one of the few people who I've done that with. I've had lots of friends over the years who I've just lost contact with and never looked back. But he's somebody who I've kind of held on to that relationship. Yeah, it's partially his fault. If it were left up to me, I probably would have let it go because I'm, you know, got that neurodivergent brain that just doesn't hold on to things, and it's fine. Doesn't bother me. All right, okay, I got to plan hair out now because tail was easy, but I don't want to just go hog on the hair. I do, though. I think that I want to go hog down the back. And then on the legs, I think I want to. I'm not quite sure how to do this. I'm not quite sure how to sculpt hair. Shall I start on the face? Let's start on the face and see how this goes. So I think I want long. Oof. You know what I want to do is turn down the strength of this about 50%. Okay, let's see how this. And actually, let's turn that symmetry back on. Using the creases. Yeah, I mean, I know right now, guys, I'm a terrible friend. And it's just the way my brain works. I don't like feel the need to hold on to friendships and stuff like that. And I feel bad about that. Like, part of me is like, oh, normal people care about this stuff. I should care about this stuff. And it takes effort. And it takes me having to, like, consciously tell myself, this is something important. You should spend some time on it. And so I try to, and I do. But I'm just really bad at it. We're going to put a little curly Q. Whoa! Nope. There we go. Ooh. How do we feel about that? I don't know why, but I totally dig this. I don't know why, but I totally dig that. Yeah, man, I hear you. I got diagnosed with Asperger's about 10 years ago. It made a lot of sense why I don't have too many long-term friendships. And again, it's not. Yeah, I haven't been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm on some kind of spectrum. I mean, it's a spectrum. Everybody's on it, right? But I'm pretty sure that somewhere I can trace back my idiosyncrasies to something. It's not that I don't like people. It's just that, you know, partially it's because I overthink things a little bit sometimes. I think a lot of people do. And when I start overthinking things, I think solitude is easier. But that doesn't mean that it's right. We all need each other. I say that at the end of every video. We all need each other. And I say that as much to remind me as to remind everybody else that we can't all just sit in our islands and be content with loneliness. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't. Because, you know, the whole point of society is that we function better and faster and get more done together than alone. I kind of don't hate that. That did a thing and I liked it. You know, I know a lot of people who try to say, oh, well, you know, the point isn't to you know, the point is to be self-sufficient. Yeah, you can be as self-sufficient as you want, and then everybody's self-sufficient until the earthquake hits. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I need to go the other direction with this. It keeps going back, keeps curving back that direction. I don't like that. That puts a heart back there. Okay, let's right there and right there. Nope. I'm overthinking this one little bit. Time to move on. All right. Yeah, I like that little curly on the head. That's perfect, I think. I think I'm also going, maybe I should bring this to a point here and then work on the chest, because I think that the chest needs to be curly. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this back to a point. Oof. Smaller. I zoomed out, so I need to make my brush smaller. Oops. Come on. There we go. How are we coming along here? Okay, let's the tongue is an important part of the process. If you're not sticking out your tongue while you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. No, don't like that. That one's okay. That one's okay. Let's do some more of those on the side. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. Okay. Now, let's make his chest, his or her chest. I don't know if this fox is a his or a her. I'm not thinking too much about it. I agree with you if I think about it, but to be honest, I still deeply feel that I want to be alone. Yeah, no, I agree. It is a compulsion. It is the easy way. But that doesn't mean that it's the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not right to be alone. It's not wrong to want to be alone. I understand that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Just don't, you know, act on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's kind of why I like social games like D&D, because for some reason, those of us who do not enjoy socializing don't mind getting together for a session of D&D or something like that. Now, I don't really like playing D&D that much myself. It's okay, but too many rules. I like a nice simple game. I like a game where I can focus. Strangely enough, I like a game where I can focus on being around people, or the people who I'm being with. But in a good way, you know. Like, there are some games I hate. Okay, I'm making a video here in a little bit where I'm talking about various board games and stuff like that. I am not a fan of Settlers of Catan. I know that a lot of people love Settlers of Catan, but the thing about Settlers of Catan to me is that it encourages you to interact with people, and theoretically we should be interacting with them in a zero-sum game where you get a deal and I get a deal and everybody ends up happy with the deal. But I have never felt that way in those interactions. It's the same reason why I don't like Monopoly, because I feel like I have to, ultimately you have to win. You have to beat the other player. So it's not a zero-sum game. It's trying to make it look like a zero-sum game while ultimately giving yourself the advantage. And either you succeed at that, in which case I feel bad for, you know, messing with another player and making them feel like they were winning when they lost, or you fail at that, and then I feel bad. Like, I just don't enjoy that sort of interaction. So Settlers of Catan, not one of my favorite games to play with. I prefer games where either everybody is playing on the same board and, you know, the conflict is direct with each other. Is my mic level really low? I don't know. How's that? Is that better? It's better when my mouth is right on it. Part of the problem might have been, I know what the problem was. I was moving past my mic. This mic is very directional. Catches me here. It does not catch me so well over here. So the mic level was fine. But yeah, I did not have it pointed at my mouth because I was leaning into work on my Wacom tablet. Let's see how this fox is looking. Looking pretty good. I think I'm going to have to still do some texturing on the middle parts. But what I might do for those is just turn down the strength just a little bit. And then just kind of do this. Oop. Nope. Did not like that. Nope, don't like that. Much better. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. GG4G has a monthly family-friendly board game night. It's been really great. Hey, what board games do you do at your family-friendly board game night? What's your go-to family-friendly board games? Have you tried Castle Panic? I kind of enjoy Castle Panic. But yeah, let me know what your family-friendly board games are. And hey, add PrintAQuest to the list. Right? That's the goal anyways. I gotta finish PrintAQuest though. I'm looking forward to the gargoyle. I'm so looking forward to the gargoyle. What time is it? It's 10:30. That means that I have been streaming for 2 hours now, which is fine, but I gotta get ready for work. I need to get some lunch in me. So I think I may have to call this good here. We've made some good progress. We've done some good stuff here, guys. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. I have to decide what I want to do here. Recently got a game called New Kingdom Gardeners, which has you competing to have the best garden, but you get bonuses for helping out others. Native says last. Native was first. Native also is last. Makes sense. I need to decide what I want to do with this fox here. All right, I'm going to play with some options here. But overall, I think the fox is looking fantastic. And let's bring back the elf. She's looking fantastic. I think, though, that I am going to have to... So I'm really struggling with the elf for some reason. Oops, let me save before I switch to material preview, because that does crash it sometimes. I'm really struggling with this character because partially, when I was younger, I envisioned this character differently than she is turning out now. Because I was a young man and she was more seductive. And I don't want that. But I don't know about the poncho. I kind of put the poncho on, but I feel like she needs to have some sort of like naturalistic look to this poncho, and I don't love it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the poncho, and I'm going to give her a vest. We'll see about it. I think I'm going to give her a vest, and I think I'm going to just kind of give her a wrap around the middle, but I may do that. I may model that in something else. Those do not look... sorry, guys. My anatomy is... Ah, and there it goes. Crashed the computer. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I saved before I started doing anything. It didn't crash the computer. It crashed Blender. All right, back to it. Let's hide the poncho. I need to... Why... Alright, I need to fix this. Because that is not the way anatomy works. I do kind of want to slimmer just a little bit, though. Sorry, you gotta work at this level before you can work at the next one. That's just the way art works. All right, let's see if I can fix this. That looks better. Not wanting to spend too much time on this because, like I say, I'm just going to wrap it and hide it. Oh, there was something that I wanted to try, though. Okay, let's bring back her her poncho for now. Keep things a little modest. Well, I gotta fix the poncho now. There we go. Poncho fixed. But what I wanted to do, whoops, object mode. So she's got these leg wraps here, and they're going to be so stinking small, they're not going to be seen. But part of me wants to know if I could add some more detail to them. See, right now, there are a series of modifiers. They're just cylinders that I then shrink wrap to the legs and then solidify to bring them out to size and then subdivision surface them. And I am using a very clever trick where the vertexes get so I want to see if this is going to give it more shape. It does. Do I like this? I kind of do, but I want to take the subdivision surface here and, or not actually, this is in the edge data here, and decrease this outer crease. Maybe just get rid of it entirely. Yeah. That's dumb. It's dumb that it works, but I'm going to keep doing this. Now my question though is, do I know? I don't know. Okay, hold on for a second. Weight paint mode. Okay, so this is 0.5, this is 0.2. I could just I'm eyeballing it. So let's go back into edit mode. This guy right here. Remove them and assign them at 0.5. Remove them and assign them at 0.2. Did I forget to hit assign? I feel like I forgot to hit assign. Let's do that. This guy's also getting these assigned at 0.2. I think this guy is probably 0.5. So by doing this, now I think I'm going to leave that last one just the way that it is. Nope, can't do that. That turned out. But look at the texture. This was the original. This is the new. That's looking so much better. Oh my goodness, I am a genius. I mean, even that. Boy, I didn't even think about checking what that did, but even that improved it. But we are going to remove it, assign them it. Is 0.5 enough? 0.5 was enough. That looks way better. Again, it's detailed though that isn't going to be seen in the final print because it's too stinking small. Nobody's going to, that's not going to ever show up in an FDM print. But doggone, it looks good in the render, so I'm going to leave it. All right, guys. I'm going to continue working on the elf. I'm going to continue working on her fox companion. Oh, the render is only at 1. I was like, why is it not looking? Because I've only got that render set to 1. There we go. There's the fox. And this is gonna be fantastic. This is gonna look great. This is a big honking fox, though. At the end of the day, do I want this fox to be so big? I'll play with it. I'll play with it. But I am gonna wrap it up here, and I want to thank you all very much for watching. I want to remind you that you are a child of God. I got to get ready for work. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Let's do this more often. I'll see you guys next week, next Wednesday. And we will do more of this as we continue to work on PrintAQuest and bring this idea to reality. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you then. Bye.